Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. This is still a big story today. eToro exchange platform announced 2 new trading pairs for Ripple, XRP with fiat currencies. I think it's so big it's because they have 8 million open accounts. And so it's reaching across 140 countries. And they introduced the pairing of XRP and the Japanese yen along with XRP and Great British Pound. I just think this is going to have an impact on this coin for sure. If you are not familiar with this, it's the XRP PL Monitor. It will tweet out to you, if you follow it, all of the big transactions that occur. And there were 2 monster transactions today. One about 11 hours ago, 4 billion coins were sent from this address here to this address here. And then a little bit earlier, an hour earlier, there were 2 billion coins moved. Now, we don't know who owns the addresses, and of course, there's a lot of speculation out there. I did some searching, but I couldn't find anything that is worthy of being called news. But if you're interested in this story, I would recommend you go to the XRP Chat, and you can talk or just read everybody's ideas. There's a lot of speculation, and maybe somebody's got it figured out here, maybe not, but there are a lot of different ideas of where that is going and who owns it and why. So I'll put the link to this XRP Chat room in the comment section, and you can read because it's kind of entertaining. Oh, this is a big story. So the XRP Community Blog is the first blog on Coil that supports, it is in combination with supporting it with the XRP tip bot. So West Wind actually integrated the tip bot to work with Coil. So now the account will automatically support all the blog authors while reading their content. So not in a year, he writes, not in a month, not in a week, but today. Join the wait list. So I signed up. If you are a content creator, or whether it's you do a YouTube channel or you are a blogger, definitely sign up, because the business model is that the content creators will be paid, and it's a subscription-based model, if you will. And as you know, Coil was built by Stefan Thomas. He is the ex-CTO at Ripple, and it was built on the XRP ledger. It is a micro payments application, and it depends fully on XRP. So this tipping capability with the XRP tip bot is a great integration, and I think everybody should send a couple of coins to Weist to thank him for doing this. Yeah, and definitely get signed up, because everybody's getting in the queue to participate on this Coil platform. Definitely. Okay, this is a shout out actually to Crypto Crow. 2 days ago, he announced he's going to do his own cryptocurrency conference in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he is going to shake things up a bit. And I'm so happy to hear that. He was a fight promoter, so I am just sure he's got the connections and the means to make something very fun, very exciting, and very enjoyable for everybody. And the main purpose is he wants to contribute, if you will, to the mass adoption by bringing in some new verticals. And he said when he came back from Chicago that it was kind of the same old crowd of investors who are looking at the next great ICO. And he just thinks that it's needing to be taken one step further and introduced in a fun way to some new verticals. And he did highlight which verticals he thought of, but I think here's one more vertical for you. So Crypto Crow, Coinbase, today, the blog, came out with some new statistics. And they have found that 42% of the top 50 universities are offering courses in cryptocurrency. You can see here Stanford University takes the lead with 10, followed by Cornell, University of Pennsylvania, and then it comes down here. We can see in a more visual graphic by way of dots placed on there. The blue dots are give or take 8. The lighter blue is 4 to 6. This kind of a bluish gray is 2 to 3. The pink is 1. And wow, they've got 0. Why did they do 0? I guess they just put zeros in the center there to represent many universities who have yet to participate. But here's my point. 675 students were asked about cryptocurrency. And Crypto Crow, look at these numbers. 9% have taken a cryptocurrency course. 18% own cryptocurrency. That's a big number. When you think that only 1 to 3% of the whole population in the world has cryptocurrency, within a demographic, and that is a really strong vertical, 18% own cryptocurrency now, and 26% want to take a cryptocurrency course. So get your university students, not only in the Cincinnati area, but within the whole state of Ohio and the whole Midwest, or the whole United States for that point. That is a very strong vertical and a great group to invite to your conference that you're going to have in February called Chainwise. And by the way, everybody, clear your schedule so that you can participate, because I am just sure he's going to create something very fun. All right, Justin at Tron, he just doesn't fail to keep us entertained. Today, he burned 500 million tokens as the Tron wallet launched on the App Store. And it was actually 670 some tokens were completely sent to the wallet, which will be gone forever. No one will be able to access them, and it's going to remove them from circulation. And his wallet, which is now available on the, here we go, here's what it looks like, on iTunes. It's fully decentralized P2P wallet, has no login, no sign up, and the private keys totally belong only to you, the user. So I think this is, I like the decentralized apps that are popping up out there. So just keep entertaining me, Justin. I enjoy it. All right, this is a tweet that came out, and I just want to reflect on it for a second and then have you look at it from a slightly different path, if you will. So the new Stellar milestone passed 1 million accounts on the ledgers. So congratulations to Stellar. This is on their Twitter page, and they are just letting everybody know that they have reached this milestone. Well, let me just have you look at it from a different angle. So we all know that apart from the IBM partnership, Stellar Lumens also announced partnerships with Satoshi Pay, Exchange One, which is a Swiss company, also ClickX. They are a cross-border payment service out of the Pacific area of the world. Mobius, which is a company that focuses on mobile devices and deploys smart contracts for data and non-block developers. And then there's Hashcash, too, a service that intends to create solutions for financial entities such as banks through Stellar's networks. But let's just read this a little bit. So Ripple and Stellar, same industry, different focus. So even though Ripple and Stellar come from the same source code and cater to the same industry, their focus, approach, and strategy is very different. Stellar, XLM, and Ripple XRP have different goals, and they walk on their own paths. Stellar XLM's developers are focused on helping startups, while the folks behind Ripple XRP are partnering with banks. This shows us that Stellar XLM and Ripple XRP are quite different, and that they will not compete anytime soon unless they cross over each other's territory. And the reason why I am going to talk about today's fluff is because when I read this, taking two different paths, it very much reminded me of the Japanese garden. So in Japan, in a Japanese garden, very often there are two paths. And if you are on one path, you have a different view from a different angle and a different meaning. And the other path is in the same one garden and very often can't even be seen. So when you're on one path, you can't even see the other path. But that other path also has its own space, its own view. And the actual Japanese garden dates back to about the 7th century. And it's not just a place where you peacefully go to meditate and take in the beauty, but there's a lot of philosophy in the design and the purpose of a Japanese garden. So when you look at a garden, it's made to look natural, but yet it is not. It is completely man-made, and it's very much manipulated, but it's made to look completely natural. And it's achieved through asymmetry, and this asymmetry is done in always odd numbers, so 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. And it's simple because there is the philosophy that less is more. And within the gardens, when you are observing, be aware of the contrast. So just not light and dark and short and tall and soft and rough, but color contrast, texture contrast, reflecting contrast. The curves are there to soften the lines, but the paths also curve. When they curve out of sight, you have this tendency or curiosity to follow that path and to where is it going. And always you have this openness. So if we look at some of the elements that are in a garden, one of the things you'll find are these lanterns. And the lanterns are representative of earth, water, fire, and wind. And then you have statues. Statues can be really commemorative, or they can be of a protective sense or body. And then you have water. The water is not only just reflection, but it's part of that contrast. And we have so often these bamboo water alarms, and they work with the gravity, and they'll make a sound to scare away deer or bear that might be in the area. And the koi that are in the garden are very decorative. Those nishiki-koi in Japan can sell for $5,000 to $10,000 for a fish if they bring the right color combination. And then you have a bridge, and the bridge is often the artistic element or feel. But I wanted to just point this out because when I heard about, Stellar and XRP going on two different paths, really reminded me of a Japanese garden, that within the one garden, it supports two paths. So there you have it today. That is your fluff. I hope you have a very good afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Please take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.